Peace of the Lord be with you. A very warm welcome to PCGTV News. This bulletin is live from our studio, Church House, Osu, Accra. In the headlines, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nanoparekwache warns against environmental destruction during Obuase induction. Reverend Daniel Brobe unveils ambitious vision for Asante South Presbytery. And also, Gan West Presbytery Salvation Congregation brings free health care to the community. Many thanks for staying with us. I am Georgette Anane. The news in details continues after the break. Welcome back from the break. Now the news in details. In our first story, the moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nanoparekwache, has issued a passionate call for urgent national action against the illegal mining activities, popularly known as galamsey, which he described as a major threat to Ghana's environment and future generations. He made the remarks during the induction service for Reverend Daniel Brobe as the chairperson of the Asante South Presbytery held at the Ascension Congregation, Obuase, on Sunday, October 26, 2025. The service was attended by members of the General Assembly Council, ministers, presbyters, and representatives from various districts in the presbytery. In a stirring sermon, Right Reverend Dr. Parekwache lamented the extent of environmental destruction caused by galamsey, emphasizing that what he witnessed during his tour of districts within the presbytery was far worse than what is reported to those living in urban areas.
Also, I have chosen to reflect on the Reformation because you have been called at a time like this to stand for what is truth. I have said many times that until I had the opportunity somewhere early this year to visit this Asante South Presbytery and to go around the districts of this presbytery, my views on an evil like galamsey were different. When I came here and I saw what was happening here openly, then I realized that those of us who sit in Accra, we read the newspapers and we watch what happens on social media and we say what we like. But it's a different thing here. Actually, it's worse. And it saddens me. It saddens me that as a nation, we are treating it as if it was just any natural phenomenon.
The moderator warned that the pollution of Ghana's water bodies poses a serious danger to human health, agriculture, and national survival. He called on both government authorities and citizens to take responsibility, stressing that protecting the environment is a sacred duty entrusted to humanity by God.
I don't know how to say this in English. There are certain things you learn in one language and it's difficult to transpose into another language. In Kranfu or Kasebi, what's it? And nam, well, so in Kranfu, walk up into what nam the way you nam. was a nama e nyai no. Well, nama e nyai. What the mekwa anu ye ting and idi. What I say? Loni josan akeshito ni na wa ni yo. I think that I'm saying no. Akeshito ni na wa ni bayi. If we just talk about it the way we are talking about it, one day it will clear us from this country. I have just read only a few weeks ago, how one, I think he's a scientist or a doctor or somebody, I don't know who he is, how he said he has examined 4,000 placentas. 4,000 placenta. He has examined 4,000. And he has discovered that they have dangerous levels of chemicals like arsenic and mercury.
The induction service, marked by hymns, praises, and prayers, also reaffirmed the church's commitment to promoting environmental stewardship, social justice, and moral leadership within the nation. The newly inducted chairperson of the Asante South Presbytery of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Reverend Daniel Brobe, has outlined an ambitious vision aimed at expanding mission work, strengthening evangelism, and driving development across the presbytery. Speaking at his induction service held at the Ascension Congregation of Boise, Reverend Brobe expressed deep gratitude to God, the leadership of the church, and members of the presbytery for their confidence in him. He reaffirmed his commitment to uphold the Presbyterian vision of holistic ministry that touches both souls and society. In his address, Reverend Brobe unveiled a series of key priorities that will guide his tenure as presbytery chairperson. Among these are promoting mission and evangelism across all districts to strengthen discipleship and church growth, planting new congregations, and extending outreach to those involved in illegal mining, also known as galamsey, sharing the gospel as a means of transformation, creating new districts and ministerial stations to improve pastoral care and administrative efficiency, advancing children's and youth ministry with a focus on leadership development and faith formation, constructing a presbytery manse to serve as a permanent residence for the chairperson and enhance administrative coordination, establishing a Presbyterian senior high school within the presbytery to promote quality Christian education and community development.
We pledge to work hard as I accept this responsibility. As Tatamechitawe say, you have some as the third chairperson of Asante South Presbytery, and we are ready to lead the presbytery to pursue aggressively the vision of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. In doing so, these 5 points will engage our attention to promote mission and evangelism and nurturing. 2, to plant more churches and promote ministry to galamseyers. 3, to create more districts and more ministerial stations as a result. To promote children and youth work and mentor them to realize their potential. And last, number 5, put up the Presbyterian manse. In fact, we should finish it within 52 weeks. The presec, we need a presec, and we need a hospital. I will touch on them briefly.
Reverend Brobe emphasized that the success of these initiatives would depend on teamwork, unity, and the collective support of ministers, catechists, and members. This vision is not mine alone. It is ours as a presbytery. Together, we can build stronger congregations, raise godly leaders, and impact communities through faith, education, and service, he said. He called on all stakeholders within the Asante South Presbytery to rise and build, in line with the national theme of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, encouraging every member to contribute their gifts toward the growth of God's kingdom.
Esther, Eda Munina se, see a tone suffer more aba, Namoba Boyen, Eradi Ensha Munina, na on Kayan, a Asante South Presbytery, and may ye say, Oka Asante South Presbytery, do be a budget no say, where everything is nice, Yadamoasi.
The induction ceremony marked a new chapter of hope and renewed purpose for the Asante South Presbytery as Reverend Brobe begins his leadership journey with a clear focus on mission, expansion, and development. The Presbyterian Church of Ghana Salvation Congregation Mile 7, under the new Achimota district of the Gan West Presbytery, has organized a free community health screening exercise as part of activities marking its 50th anniversary celebration. The exercise, held on the church premises on Saturday, October 25, 2025, provided residents with eye screening, blood pressure and diabetes checks, body mass index assessments, medical consultations, and free medications. The outreach drew a large turnout from Mile 7 and nearby communities and was supported by Vino Medical Center, MKI Center, Kent Pharmacy Limited, and the Gan North Municipal Hospital, along with several volunteers and medical professionals. In his remarks, the district minister of the new Achimota district and minister in charge of the Salvation Congregation, Reverend Michael Adokwe Ado, expressed gratitude to God for the success of the program and to all who made it possible. This exercise reflects the holistic nature of our ministry, caring for both the soul and the body, he said. As we celebrate 50 years of God's faithfulness, we also renew our commitment to serving our community through acts of love, compassion, and service.
It's part of the programs we have outlined. That is a year program towards our 50th anniversary. You know, the issue is that Christ said we should go into the world to preach the gospel. So this is a means of spreading the good news through health screening. And it is a payback to the community in which we live. I believe in church community relationship, so that it's not only about the gospel, but it's about others. And Jesus fed people, he healed people. And at a point he asked that, he told a parable about how one day when we come before God, you ask, when I was in the hospital, did you come to visit? When I was in prison, did you come and visit? When you saw me naked, did you clothe me? He said, as much as you do it for this little one, you do it for me. So for me, we are doing it for Christ, touching the people around by providing the services you see us provide here this morning. I believe that soul winning is our mandate, and that salvation in some years to come must be able to run about 4 services. As we are running only 2 services. There are people who want to attend church in the evenings, like it's done elsewhere. I want to see the church growing in leaps and bounds, where people come to know Jesus as their personal Savior and Lord, and we want to share the message with other people so that they also will come and enjoy what we enjoy in Christ.
He further encouraged residents to take their health seriously and urged the church to continue reaching out to meet the physical and spiritual needs of society. Representatives from Vino Medical Center, MKI Center, Kent Pharmacy Limited, and the Gan North Municipal Hospital commended the church for the initiative. They described the collaboration as an impactful partnership that promotes preventive health care and community.
Okay, so it's important to emphasize that as a private medical facility, we have some commitments to our communities, and we have civil responsibilities, and the major one is performing or partaking in some of these health screening. So as important as it is, we decided to be partakers of this important exercise to also give back to society. So we came with the entire team, our doctors, nurses, our midwives, our lab technicians, to be able to screen the members and the community people around us well. So I think first and foremost, since we are in October, which is a pink October month, breast cancer awareness is very paramount. So I would like to advise our ladies, women, to be able to screen themselves for breast cancer. When we say screen themselves, to be able to self-examine their own breast, to look out for odd changes or differences in their breast, so that when they pick up some of these things, they can come to the hospital. Why are we so keen on this? Breast cancer is taking so many lives, so if we're able to screen and pick it up at early stages, we can salvage the situation. So first and foremost, that's an important part, to admonish breast cancer, self-breast examination practices amongst our women, and also to talk a lot about hypertension and diabetes. Some of these cardiovascular diseases are really affecting our elderly people, and also it's important to check our blood pressures, check our sugar levels, so that when we're able to screen and see that maybe we have elevated levels of any of these, we'll be able to either start medication, change our lifestyles, exercises, and do so many things that can help us have improved lifestyles. So once again, it's important to say that don't always say that you, dear, there's nothing wrong with you, or as for you, you don't fall sick. Anytime at all, maybe once in a year, twice in a year, a quarter, try and pay the hospital a visit so that we can check you up. You may never know. You'll be surprised that we'll find out something that we could have treated. Don't be confident that you don't look sick. So because you don't look sick, you don't need to go to the hospital. Or because you don't...
The medical superintendent of the Ghana North Municipal Hospital, Dr. Victor Ofue Caesar, commended the church for its foresight and collaboration with healthcare professionals to improve community health. Church leaders and organizers extended appreciation to all partners, volunteers, and members whose support ensured the success of the event. The health screening forms part of a series of activities lined up to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Salvation Congregation. Away from that, the Hope Congregation of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Sakumono, was on Sunday, October 26, 2025, the venue for the grand launch of a thought-provoking book titled Contemporary Tithing, New Perspectives from the New Testament, authored by Reverend Ransford Kwache and published by Digi Books Ghana Limited. The event, which began at 4 p.m., drew clergy, academics, church leaders, and members of the public eager to explore the biblical and practical insights presented in the book. The occasion was skillfully moderated by Mrs. Beneslako Natri, Esquire, who served as the master of ceremonies. In her welcome address, Mrs. Vivian Danso Dodu, representing the Hope Congregation, expressed appreciation to the author for addressing a subject that continues to generate much discussion in Christian circles. She noted that the book offers a balanced and scholarly look at tithing from the perspective of the New Testament church. A captivating book review was presented with the book's analytical depth and its practical implications for believers and church administrators. Reverend Kwache was commended for combining sound biblical exegesis with pastoral experience to provide clarity on the meaning and purpose of tithing today.
So I began to ask myself, did the New Testament, in a way, practice, or probably did they practice certain things that suggest that we can practice tithing? And that was how I started the question and then started writing the book. So I asked one question, and then another question comes in, and then it goes in, and then that's how, by God's grace, we've had there is about 270 plus page work here. So it's an extensive work that has been done on the subject. The reason is that I wanted to look at all angles of the argument, so that wherever you pass it from, I try to approach it, because that is what apologetics we do. And hopefully you've heard that. And seriously, based on Professor Adu Obeng's review and the things you've heard, they are not myth. Yes, there are teachings in this country, which some of us hear, about certain subjects that are so unbiblical. They are unsettling to the point that it is shaping some of our members and making them get certain ideologies that they should not. So you have people in your church who are not part of you, they are just here as maybe members. They are not practicing what you practice because of some of the teachings they hear from the outside.
Reverend Ransford Kwache, the author, expressed gratitude to God, the leadership of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, and the planning committee for their support. He explained that the book seeks to correct misconceptions about tithing by re-examining the practice in light of the teachings of Jesus Christ and the early church.
Basically, this book has the key intent of trying to resolve certain ideological, I would say, difficulties people have as church members. And that ideology prevents them from tithing in the Christian church. One key of these ideologies is that tithing belongs to the Old Testament, and that Jesus and the disciples were not seen tithing. So basically, members think that the New Testament church should not tithe. So this book tries to answer these or address this question through exegetical approach. So we base on history, we base on biblical hermeneutics to answer the question whether the New Testament church should tithe or should not tithe. And the conclusion of the whole matter is basically that the church has the ability or power or potency to institute policies and practices that would help its mission work or evangelistic work. And it is clear in the New Testament. When you look at the book of Acts chapter 15, we have the New Testament church adapting or adopting to Old Testament practices. For example, they told the Gentile church not to eat food sacrificed to idols, not to eat animal that has been strangled, and etc. This gives us the inclination that truly the church has power to decide on which policy and which practices it must adhere to. It also based on the fact that anything the church binds here on earth is bound in heaven. And that authority must also be in line with scriptures.
The official unveiling and launch of the book was performed. Copies of the book were subsequently auctioned amid live soft music from the Evergreen Church Choir. This is where we end the PCGTV news. A recap of the headlines. Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nanopare Kwache warns against environmental distraction during Obuasi induction. Reverend Daniel Brobe unveils ambitious vision for Asante South Presbytery. And also, Gan West Presbytery Salvation Congregation brings free health care to the community. We are grateful for your time with us today. My name is Georgette Anane. Do have a marvelous day and enjoy the rest of our programs.